and parts of Mexico and other countries like Haiti are being denigrated and criminalized. In addition, people have recently taken to the streets to address our compromised present and future due to increasingly irreparable climate change. Protesters and organizations have come together to decry homelessness as well as opioids and other drugs that have led to an epidemic of deaths. Gunfire that continues to kill innocent students, shoppers, churchgoers, and more. The fact that the United States has 6% of the world's population, but 25% of all prisoners. How readily police are exonerated for the killing of unarmed blacks and the wars without end in the Middle East. Add to this wave of protests the growing awareness of the fact that we now live with the widest gap between the richest and poorest people ever recorded in the United States. This moment in history is not just the fault of our current government. We've been going this way a long time. Just the same, fuel is now being added to a burning building. The ruling class of this country, via the White House and its Republican cronies, is working to consolidate an unbreakable base for fascism among a small but entrenched number of Americans, while scattering the opposition and confusing or scaring off everyone else from doing anything. They're working hard to get rid of taxes that pay for social services, including any possible quality health care and education for all, as well as remove regulatory restrictions to allow more corporate theft of land, production, and labor. And they are amassing the most tax dollars into the military to increase their control abroad and into law enforcement, border militarization, and mass incarceration for control at home. Key leaders of the alt-right have openly said they aimed to trigger the loony left with all their misrepresentations and insane policies. Instead, they've galvanized a worldwide, peaceful, organized resistance that's gaining in strength. Unfortunately, they've also unleashed a deadly reaction, not far below the surface. A low-level civil war is being waged. As of this writing, since the December 14, 2012 mass shooting that killed 20 children and 6 adults at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, there have been 2,193 mass shootings in the United States. In one day, August 3, 2019, shooters killed 22 people in El Paso, Texas, and 9 people in Dayton, Ohio. The Anti-Defamation League says 73.3% of all extremist-related fatalities in the last 10 years can be linked to the political right wing, mostly committed by white males. Republicans and others blame mental illness in video games, although millions of mentally ill people and gamers are not going around killing people. There's a pattern emerging beyond that. Hate, racist, anti-gay, misogynist, or xenophobic as the driving engine for the escalation of death in our streets. Like millions of Americans, I'm demanding a new vision, a qualitatively different direction for this country, one for the shared well-being of everyone, one with beauty, healing, poetry, imagination, and truth. As a son of Mexican migrants, as a Native American spiritual practitioner, as a former steelworker, as a journalist and essayist, as the author of 16 books in all genres, as a world traveler and speaker, as someone who helped create a transformative art center and bookstore, as someone who has turned around the lives of prisoners, gang members, and addicts, as a man determined to have a full emotional, intellectual, and creative life, I'm compelled to speak out like many others, not just for the short term, but for the long haul. Moreover, I'm compelled to help us imagine